Hey Hada, how's it going in Melee? Another week has gone by and there has been, I keep saying to myself, Hada, we're going to have a slow week, but it just keeps happening that there's something big that happens. And obviously the big news is the Panda Cup. So why don't you introduce us to that topic and also tell the people how you're doing?
I'm doing pretty great. Have a really busy day tomorrow. We're recording this, I believe, on Tuesday.
Yep.
And tomorrow I have two secondary interviews. So we got called back by two different companies. And so going to be hopefully getting back on that, 8 to 4, 9 to 5 sort of schedule. So finally going to have my life back. But yeah, we've got a lot of cool stuff. And most importantly, Panda Cup. Panda Cup is a super interesting development. I was saying just 1 or 2 weeks ago that, I didn't think the Panda Cup was ever going to happen. Like we had heard nothing, we had heard no developments, and then the universe just decided to look me in the face and be like, "Here, have the Panda Cup." And so, Panda Cup is effectively it feels to me like a second Smash World Tour, where it's not necessarily individual events; it's a partnership with other major and heavy scale events, in which case it'll lead to a championship tournament at the end of the season, which is great. We get to see a lot more stake when it comes to going to these bigger tournaments. So you'll have your traditional storylines and mindsets of, who's going to win, who's going to get those big upset, who's going to big upsets, who's going to get those crazy losers runs. But now towards the end of that season, you'll be like, well, this person has X amount of points, or this person has X amount of credits in the Panda circuit. What does that mean for them moving towards the end of the season into that Panda, big international grand final, whatever is happening? And it's another thing to get excited about. And I don't know what sort of caveats that will give us, what sort of asterisks are going to be thrown into all these events. Are we going to be able to use UCF? Are we going to be able to use third-party controllers, boxes, universal controller fix, Arduinos, whatever? Is our Goom Waves going to be capped at the event, or is wobbling going to be legal again? Who knows? But the major thing is, we have a lot more things to look forward
to. I know how to wobbling is illegal.
Thank God. But I'm actually on the pro wobbling party. I'm going to be honest. I'm a Peach main, so whatever. But I think it's fine.
I want to see an event come back where wobbling is legal and watch the Ice Climber fail to take the event. I'm sorry to Slug, but I still don't see Slug winning an event even with wobbling legal. Do you really think that Slug, who is the best Ices that is active right now, able to take? You know what? We're gonna distract it. The Panda Cup. This is the crazy thing, right? Because the whole UCF, Robin on the Melee Stats Discord, I'm talking about. Juggle Guy, when I say Robin, just briefly said that the line in the rules for the Panda Cup where it says the memory card is provided by the TO at their discretion, like that sentence there is sort of a big deal, which I read that sentence as well, and I was like, I wonder if that means they could just kind of shadow it in there, but we'll see. Without having anything official, because obviously the big house is on the Panda Cup right now, which is really cool. So it's the second biggest tournament that we have in terms of, I feel like by and large, most people put Genesis first and then it's the big house second. And you take a big event like that and you say, well, we're not going to have UCF for it because it's part of the Panda Cup. I hope that it has Shadow UCF. I don't know, but I hope that it does, just because any of these events that are on the Panda Cup, it'd be great. Or get on my level for Gommel that's happening later in a month or two. I would love for that event to also have UCF and have all the stuff that we're used to. But these are the gears that are grinding into action now. Hada, will we actually get the things that we feel we want for events that are actually licensed by Nintendo, and what are they going to look like? It's still a lot of details up in the air, but I can at least safely assure you that wobbling is very much banned. It got hammered on pretty hard.
Yeah, those definitely I think UCF, wobbling, and of course third-party controllers are going to be your major asterisks and concerns moving into events like that. I know there was a a couple concerns earlier in the year that, you know, box would be banned at certain events. And I know Zuppy specifically had a lot of words for that. You know, and I'm trying to be, you know, top 30 player in the world right now. I know I have the skill, I have the mental capability, and I have the willingness to make those commitments to travel and get to all these events. But, you know, if my main controller is going to be banned and I have to go back to playing on either, like, you know, a Goom Wave or a pod or a whatever the heck the new
Bob.
third party
PHOB. PHOB.
yeah, fob, is, you know, having to go and source back to the original analog inputs. You know, it would put a lot of players back who really have made their marks with box style controllers. But more than anything, I think it's up to what I really like about the verbiage, especially that Juggle guy said, especially regarding UCF, is it's up to the discretion of the TO. And I think a lot of TOs, you know, with the exception of some very outspoken and I guess not super involved parties, is that we will be able to have those third party controllers. We will be able to have UCF. And I think for the most part, I believe that wobbling is no longer a factor. Wobbling is banned for the collective, at least for the majority of the community. And it's a really interesting thing. It leads, again, it's that seasonal conversation is what's fair, what's balanced, what is healthy for the game, what's unhealthy for the game. Are we going to implement a ledge grab limit? Are we going to implement an airtime limit? Are we going to shorten the timer? There's a lot of things that are up for discussion, and we're just going to have to see how this circuit unfolds and what are the ramifications of that moving forward. But so far, from what I can tell, and from the documents and videos and information that's been given to me via social media, it seems that Nintendo's kind of had a pretty hands-off approach to the circuit. You know, they put their branding on it, they put their stamp of approval, and I think they're kind of just letting Panda kind of take the wheel on it, which I definitely super appreciate.
I hope that it turns out to continue to be that way. And I was interested because we had no announcements prior to last week about what the event was. Sorry, what the Panda Cup. We just call it the Panda Circuit, but they branded it as the Panda Cup. So I switched over pretty seamlessly. But when we were talking about the Panda Circuit prior to all the announcements, we were saying, I don't know when all these events are going to happen, because you have to plan these things out a year in advance sometimes, especially for big ones. We already know that Genesis is going to be, well, is it going to be next January? Oh gosh, that was a bad example. We know that Big House 11 is happening in October of 2023. There, you happy? So when are they going to have all this stuff happen? And so it makes so much sense for Panda Cup to be events like GOML and the Big House and Smash Factor 9. That's really cool. They captured all three countries that are the most known North American countries in Canada, the United States, and also Mexico. Really, really cool. So I'm not mad. I originally envisioned this the way that they described it in the first press release, where it was like 3-ish, like a handful of events leading up to the finals. But to make this a true North American circuit, to have it be more than just a few events, this is 10 plus events, and there's the last chance qualifier as well. I just feel mostly bad for people who have December birthdays, who may also be the GOAT of this game, and who always complain about big events happening in December nowadays. But December has become the month of Melee. It's got so many it's got Smash World Tour, and it's got Panda Cup finals, and there have been summits held close to the end of the year as well. I wonder if Beyond the Summit, Beyond the Smash will change that moving forward. But those are the three big events that, except for the Big House and Genesis, they're all within weeks of each other. It's crazy.
Yeah, we have definitely a jam-packed tournament schedule, and you know, it's hard to cast a lot of excitement and cast a lot of expectation, because, you know, every single event is different, and there's a lot of variables that go into making a successful event. And now that we have all these external factors with Smash World Tour points and Panda circuit points, you know, there's a lot of incentive for a lot of these up and coming players to really try to make their marks. So I'm excited to see players like Zuppy, like I said earlier, who are getting really excited and are willing to travel. Players like Moki, who I know was super anxious to make his mark back again, because I know he really got, I guess, overshadowed over the first major comeback year with the transition out of online, and Moki definitely a top high level competitor. And there's so much more Melee to be played, and we're so
Moving
excited
to
to see it.
Toronto as well.
Yeah, moving to Toronto. So there's I know Amsta, I believe, making his mark back and moving officially to Canada relatively soon. I know one of the Battle of BC announcement actually had Amsa as a Canadian resident, and I'm like, that's so cool. So
Whoa.
yeah, so we finally have North American Amsa. That's really, really exciting. And there's a lot of other things that's going on in Melee as well. And something that I was actually really excited for. It's definitely outside of the broad spectrum of tournament Melee, but home run contest. Typo. Typo is one character away from being the first player to own every single world record in home run contests. He needs to get, I think it's
Active?
he needs Luigi active. Yes, he'll be the only player to have every single record at the same time.
That's crazy.
It's 24 of 25 individual character world records because Sheik and Zelda, of course, count for
Right.
one character. So I believe Luigi is the only character that Typho has left. Just recently, as of I believe yesterday or the day before, got the Pikachu world record with pretty insane, bat drop down air spike combo. Ends up pushing it, and gonna be. I mean, Typo is the home run contest god, and what's is so exciting is that he's about to make a historic landmark um landmark achievement in Super Smash Bros. Melee, and especially and even the speed running slash you know I guess like a high score sort of chasing community where he is like that. He will be the goat of homer contests until the day that Melee burns into the hellfires of the universe. So
Okay.
it's I'm hoping it happens soon. I would love to see that 25 of 25 coming up soon.
Okay, so my favorite summoning salt video to this day is the Mario Kart 64 video where one player was trying to get all of the tracks, hold all of the world records at once, came up short so many times. It's heartbreaking. It's such an amazing video, and I won't spoil the end, but like constantly would get close. And then because the community wasn't necessarily trying to sabotage him just specifically to just for the sake of sabotaging, it was just more of, we want you to earn this kind of a thing. And it was so cool to just like get one more track here, and then someone would break the world record at another track and have to go backwards, break the world record again, and then try to knock down the last one. And it was just it's an incredible video. So it reminds me of that. It has heavy vibes. Are practical tasks, all the other world record pushers, are they all staying out of the way to make it 25-25, or is the break the targets community saying, well, let's make Typo earn this?
Yeah, I have no idea. I think actually as you're saying it, Practical Task tweeted just yesterday, Typo is one away from the first ever clean sweep of every HRC record, and that's just absolutely outrageous to me. And it's I'm in my heart of hearts, I hope no one's like trying to sabotage and like take one of like the more loose records back, or like win it by like, and so he has to go back
Yeah.
and like. I mean, obviously, Typo is like frame perfect on a lot of these things, as like almost doing task level strategies to get a lot of these records. But I hope there's not someone who's the intent of trying to sabotage the 25 of 25. But I think it would also lead to a really, really crazy, chase down. Like imagine Typo gets Luigi, and then like a couple hours before someone gets Ganondorf or something, or someone
Right.
gets Vulcan, and then he has to go back just to go and reclaim that old score. And God, that'd be something. But and sort of like the combo sphere, it hurts me to say, but PGH Carroll, if you don't follow them on Twitter, you definitely should.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he recently posted another Throwaways episode, Throwaways Volume 21, in which your boy was represented twice by being killed by Captain Falcon special moves on his custom stages that he's actually working on with Practical Tasks, and so with Practical Tasks and Uncle Punch, as well as a lot of other stage modders. But super enjoyed playing on those custom stages. But he did manage to get a double. He got a double spike Raptor boost combo on me, and a
Oh,
ledge trap Falcon Punch where I was trying to power shield it and then get a combo back on him, but I missed the power shield and I ate a Falcon Punch to the face. But all's well in love and war. And guys, please just go check out Carol, watch all the combo videos, follow them on Twitter. Just absolutely insane creative melee. So love to represent and give credit to where credit is due.
I just can't believe that you would recommend a video in which you're getting Falcon punched. Even if you know why you got Falcon punched, I still, like, if it were me, I'd be like, oh yeah, PJ Carroll's cool. You really have to do that and it's like, it's fair. It's fair. I'm the one who agreed to play PGH Carroll, or in your case, that would be what's happening.
It's always playing friendlies with Carol is one of the most fun experiences I think you can have playing competitive style melee. And the thing is, you're always subject to be put on the reel, and that's the unfortunate aspect of playing with someone like that. So it's definitely you take the risk in order to have a good time, and I was having a great time, so it's perfectly okay. I subjected myself to myself and Dan's demand. We were playing teams today, decided to play some doubles, and turns out Run Ride and Tempo were looking for some people to play against, and so we played against Run Ride and Tempo for about an hour, and yeah, I got double zero to death team comboed by them at least 2 or 3 times,
Ooh.
and got absolutely destroyed. They are unreal at teams. And I am now realizing, like, I always thought I was a really solid teams player, but there are levels, man.
Oh yeah.
Levels.
Oh, speaking of doubles, I want to say congrats to Aura for recently signing with the tournament series / esports org / you get it up in Pacific Northwest, and I need to focus so I can remember the name and give proper kudos, because I think it was the initials are DE, I want to say, but it's like a bi-monthly series. It runs up in PNW. I think they held it in Seattle this past weekend, and Aura actually won, so that was cool. But I can't remember the name. I'd have to go back and look at my liked tweets. I'm so sorry, Aura, and your sponsor. See, that's the whole thing. How's a sponsor supposed to feel good when I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head? But shout outs. Thank you for signing Aura.
Well, while you're looking for some of those credentials, I'll go ahead and congratulate the people at my organization. So shout outs to All Chat Esports BBATs winning another tournament.
Whoa.
It was a Battle Under the Bridge. I believe it was a monthly series. So BBAT's getting another win. And not going to spoil anything, but I will say that in the next 48 hours, All Chat will be growing. And that's all I'm going to say.
In the next month?
Within the next 48 hours.
48 hours?
Yeah, that's the plan, at least from what I understand. But I am not at liberty to give anything else away. So if you guys are listeners of the podcast, go ahead and follow All Chat Esports. We will be growing as a family, and I'm excited for that. And finally, in other tournament news, Mad Tyro getting a huge tournament dub, winning Liftoff, which was a Midwest regional event, and had a outrageous losers run. So won the tourney, beating Zamu twice, reverse 3-0ing him in the second set.
Oh my gosh.
Sturzo, Essie, Grab, and Iori. So just an absolutely outrageous run from the most technical Luigi on the planet. Young kid, shout outs to Mad Tyro, shout outs to Calio, and hope to see more of this young man. He's getting so good.
I watched Mad Tyro beat Pipsqueak at Pound, and I filmed Gimme Dat Wheat reacting to it, and I didn't put it out because we didn't seem to be particularly feeling that kind of a video to go out. But Domino Effect, that was the name of the org that signed Aura this past weekend. So thank you, Domino Effect, for continuing to support the scene. Thank you. That's really cool to hear, though, because other than Eddie Mexico occasionally winning TMTs on the West Coast side, which is great, obviously, let's go Luigi, I don't think I've heard of a Luigi taking a bigger-ish sized regional, so that's really cool to hear. Go, Mad Tyro.
Yeah, Mad Tyro's doing some big stuff, so super exciting, and I hope to see some more excellent results coming out from them. But yeah, we have had a really interesting weekend. It's been a big developmental week. There's a lot of stuff to look forward to as a result of this past week in Melee. And I, for one, am currently at bated breath, So excited to see how the Panda circuit pans out. Are we going to get a lot of drama? Are we going to have to, you know, ask Nintendo to see us in the parking lot? And also, thank you to whoever did this custom artwork for Cypher's new box style controller. Absolutely outrageous front panel. Such a cool thing you got going on here, man. Tell us
Thank
about
you.
it.
Yeah, shout outs to, okay, so Smokey, a patron of mine, shout outs, said, I will help you get this. I commissioned somebody to do the artwork, so shout outs to Melancholy, who did the artwork itself based off of the logo of the podcast. And Smokey said, shout outs to Eternal Project, the graphic novel series. So shout outs. This controller was the result of all of that kind of stuff going on. So I'm very appreciative. And I am wondering, Hada, can I take 30% of your first stock with this? Because I've played on this box a grand total of 2 times, still hadn't quite figured out how to multi-shine. I'm just working on multi-shining right now with Fox. But can I get 30% on you? Because if I can do that, I feel like that is already a successful level of Melee for me to be at with this box controller.
Well, what we can do is catch us in a separate bonus episode where maybe Jesse and I will play some friendlies and we'll shoot the shit, and we'll have a little bit of a catch up episode on our first interview with myself, and see what's going on with that. Have a little bit of a kickback and have some friendlies. And if you guys would like to see that, please leave it in the comments below, or leave it in any sort of comment section if you're on Spotify, YouTube, or Apple Podcasts.
You can at Hey Hada on Twitter. You can at Cyber003 on Twitter. The mentions, I look through them because I don't get a ton as of now. That's fine. I'm not overwhelmed by people. Get in on the ground floor. Tell us you want us to see us play Melee. And by play Melee, I mean it's me fumbling and Hada just doing circles around me with that box peach. I mean, I'm scared of whenever we actually do end up sitting down and playing on the interwebs here.
Should be a super good time. I will say, I forget who tweeted. I think it was Zuppy. It was like he was like responding to give us your hottest Melee opinions, and it's Box will only ever get banned when one Peach decides to take it very seriously, or Dark Hero, the Marth player, starts to play more and take it more seriously. Dark Hero is a box Marth who is the most outrageous use of pivot mechanic I've ever seen. I play with him a lot when I was in West Texas. He's currently ranked 1 in West Texas. And I actually played some Peach Shadows today with Ferocity, who was formerly rank 1, the rank 1 Peach in Chicago, and just recently switched to box, and they are outrageously fast. So it's really exciting, and I see they're putting in a lot of effort into min-maxing with techniques like Q dropping and knitting, subflow, and it's something that, if you guys want an insane Peach to look out for and watch some VODs, go check out some Ferocity. Ferocity's absolutely goated.
So other than that, I don't have a whole lot that's happening in Melee that I wanted to get to, because Panda Cup obviously occupies a big part of what's been happening recently, and we didn't have a super major happen over the weekend. But I've been enjoying the semi Melee break, although I have to say I'm starting to get itchy for... Oh, okay, here's one last little teeny tiny thing we can get into. Well, we can expand this if we really wanted to, but Combo Breaker happened this past weekend. Combo Breaker is a bigger sized FGC event, and there was a little bit of discourse with the vets, the old guard of the Melee community, saying no shot that Melee will ever be at a Combo Breaker event again, because when it happened, it did not work out. And for me, all I can gather from these tweets is that Combo Breaker and Melee didn't get along because Melee didn't want to do anything else and was sort of like, hey, why isn't everybody here playing Melee? We just sort of like, we didn't and fully embrace FGC mode when we were at those events in the past. But I'll ask you, Hada, do you have any memory of this stuff going on when it was happening in real time, or is that also before you?
I mean, I didn't go to a Combo Breaker, but I know events like DreamHack where Melee is not the forefront of the event, and I did get invited to a Combo Breaker, which was it was in Chicago. I think it was 2016 or 2017. I remember Duck and Dreffen played at that event, but that's about all as my memory can hold about that. more than anything is I know that the overarching Melee heads or the FGC heads, like the big FG members of the FGC community, don't really see Melee as like a fighting game. Definitely still kind of give it the, oh, you're a party game, you're a platform fighter, you're this, we're not gonna take you seriously. You're super clicky and elitist, and so we're gonna be extra clicky and extra elitist against you. And it's very much so of a, everyone kind of has to drop their egos, and it's really difficult for both sides to honestly have some sort of stake in the matter and has some sort of right mentality in the matter to be like, okay, we're both right, we're also both wrong and being shitty towards each other. Let's just drop the egos, let's have a good time, let's let our communities interact, and let's see how this event goes. But it's a lot to ask of a lot of big communities to um finally, put the pitchforks and torches away and just get along, for God's sake.
Yes, also we are notoriously insufferable when you make most of the bracket for a Melee event, best of 3, and that seems to be like most of the replies to Contra on their thread about it were like, yeah, Melee players don't like best of 3 tournaments. They just don't. You're not wrong. We do love best of 5. Like as early on in bracket as possible. We're super happy.
Some Melee sets just go really quickly, and then of course you'll have sets like Lot H box that are gonna go for 4 million.
They can't,
hours.
but they both can't go. It's one or the other.
Yeah, it's the unfortunate stake of the matter, but in the grand scheme of things, is there a future where Combo Breaker and Melee come back together? Yeah, it's possible. Do I have any say in the matter? Absolutely not. But do I feel at least a little bit hopeful for the future? For sure. I think Combo Breaker is an amazing event. It's super exciting, and if you saw photos from the event, like from the stage, and how many people were there and cheering and
looked amazing,
losing their minds, it looked so fun. It's definitely something that even if there wasn't Melee there and there was a Combo Breaker in my city, I would go. It just seemed like a really cool time. It seemed like a absolute joy to at least be around and be in that atmosphere. But hopefully, one day we'll be back.
Call to action: follow All Chat Esports and at Hey Hada, because you're going to get news, potentially, maybe, but just follow anyway, about more expansions of the All Chat Esport family. So Hada, tell the people where they can find you, where they can find me, that sort of thing. Get us rolling out of here.
Sounds good. Hey guys, if you liked any sort of things that you heard from me today or anything you heard from Jesse, please follow us on our respective socials, and I'm at Hey Hada on just about everything. At Hey Hada on Twitch and Twitter, at Hada, I believe, on YouTube if you want to see it, stuff that I've posted there. Not too much, but some cool stuff over there. But guys, please follow Cypher003 on the Twitter, and guys, and of course at BSM Pod on Twitter as well, to catch up on everything from the podcast. Tons of amazing episodes come out in the last couple of weeks. Lots of great content from members of the community all around the country and all around the world. So please follow closely, enjoy the content. Jesse puts a lot of work into it, and so we try to put together the most high quality content for you to enjoy at home.
And we're very appreciative of everybody tuning in today. And Hada, thank you so much for joining me for another week of What's Happening in Melee. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye, guys. Have a good one.